daughter, Addie. I have 3 kids, and my youngest is Esten. When she was about 2.5, she had a little procedure done that had nothing to do with any of this. And as she was starting to recover from that, or supposed to recover from that, we realized that she wasn't recovering from that. That she wasn't getting her color back. She wasn't getting her energy back. So we kept trying to figure out what was going on until finally we brought her to our pediatrician, who did a blood test and said, "You need to get over the hill to Cedars-Sinai Hospital." We took her there, and she had a whole raft of other tests, and they told us that it was a few things that it might be, and one of those things was leukemia. So we didn't know for that weekend what it was going to be, and she was staying there in the hospital, and our whole family was in there making it as fun for her as we could with her brother and sister, and they were coloring and laughing and arguing and doing everything kids do. And that Monday the doctor came, and she asked if she could speak to me in the hall while my family was in there. And so I went out into the hallway, and the doctor looked at me and she said, and I'll never forget this, she said, "Well, it is leukemia." And without even pausing like I am, she said, "And here's what we're going to do." She was able to immediately start telling me all of the different options we had and choices, and how there was help and there was hope immediately. When I was a kid, there was so much less help and there was so much less hope. In that moment, when they gave us the survival numbers and the survivor rate, we had hope. It was very dark right then when we found out, and suddenly that was the first light, and there was a whole bunch of light after that. That daughter of mine is Addie, and today Addie is almost 14 years old, and she's healthy and she's happy, and God has blessed us with her. Can you come just wave to everybody out? This is my girl Addie, say hi. The reason I say all this is because that better number that they gave us and that hope that they were able to give us immediately, it came from people exactly like you doing things exactly like this. It came from research, and research can't be done without fundraising. So it came from people that cared and had their own stories. My grandmother, her big charity was a cancer research charity. Nobody really knew why. She didn't have a personal story. That was just her own thing she chose. And she had gone by the time Addie came along and got sick, but we knew that somehow, somewhere, she had a connection to that cure as well. People would always ask us, how do you do that? How do you take that walk with your kid? Well, as so many of you know, and as my wife Patty knows, my wife, who I walked over right after that doctor told us, and I had to take her outside of the room while my kids were still fighting over magic markers and tell her that it was leukemia. And I wrapped my arms around her, and she and I just broke down for 15 or 20 seconds, and we gathered ourselves and we went back in there to start this. And so many of you are either just starting it, or you're right in the middle of it, or maybe, God bless you, you have lost someone, or maybe, God bless you, somebody you know has been cured. But when people ask you how you've done that, well, for me, there was no other answers than there's no really other choice. You just put your head down and you start walking. And it's a journey you got to take. You feel extremely helpless in that moment. And I think maybe if you're like me, that's why you're here tonight. Because you're not helpless right now, you're helpful right now, and you're helping everybody that you know, and you're helping everybody that you don't even know. And for everybody that has to put their head down and start that walk, every one of you right now is starting that walk for them. So I appreciate everybody who's here tonight, who is walking. God bless you, and God bless everybody you're walking for. Thank you, Nashville.